I'm Brian Kilb, Executive Vice President of Landaas Company.
Brian, in a balanced, diversified portfolio with a global economy, you'd probably want to have some securities from overseas, right?
Surely, Joel. You know, half the equities in the world, give or take, are overseas securities. Great opportunities and growth throughout the rest of the world in the years ahead.
What about risks?
Well, there's additional risks overseas.
Things like currency?
Currency would be a great example of additional risk. The last few weeks we find that the dollar continues to strengthen. Foreign currencies have often been weakening for especially some of the emerging market countries that have larger current account deficits. Those debts and the relationship and the transactions between countries, a rising dollar, a weakening foreign currency is certainly hurting those investments.
And then there are the politics of countries abroad too, right?
Geopolitical risk is a big thing. You know, what kind of certainty do you have in an economy when the government is volatile? It has a different, often more complex element of risk.
Are there liquidity issues?
There certainly can be. You know, we have the largest economy in the world and therefore the most liquidity. You know, and when you get to investing in some of the smaller countries and the smaller economies, movements in and out of certain markets can be substantially a greater portion of the overall activity of that country. And therefore you can get wild swings in market activity when big players move into small countries.
Sometimes isn't it hard to know the credibility of the information you're getting from abroad?
Well, recognize, you know, along the lines of geopolitical risk, you're dealing with a different culture. Part of research and putting together a good portfolio is understanding the financial background of any company that you might be investing in. In our country, for instance, we have generally accepted accounting principles, often called GAAP. They don't necessarily have that same set of accounting standards throughout the world. When you go into a company to do research in a different country, how do you really know what kind of credibility does that financial information have? Sometimes, you know, you can't really believe what's on the printed paper.
So investing abroad is probably a good idea within the greater scheme of things, but there are cautions.
Like most things, greater return comes with the potential for greater risk.